On a misty morning in the deep pine woods, where sunlight barely pierced the thick canopy, two tiny puppies stood at the edge of a ravine, their small bodies trembling not just from the cold, but from fear. They were no more than 5 weeks old, fragile balls of fluff with wide, glassy eyes the color of wet earth. One was a scruffy little black pup with a white star on his chest, the other a golden brown runt, so small she could fit in the palm of a man's hand. Their whimpers echoed softly between the trees, swallowed by the silence of the forest. Behind them, tangled in the roots of a fallen spruce, lay their mother, a gentle border collie who had wandered too far into the wild while searching for food. A sudden landslide had sent rocks and branches crashing down, pinning her hind legs beneath a massive log. She wasn't dead, but she was weakening. Her breath came in shallow gasps, her eyes half closed, too weak to move, too proud to cry out. The puppies had tried everything. They tugged at the bark with their milk teeth. They barked until their voices cracked. They circled her, licking her face, nudging her, begging her to wake up. But she only blinked slowly, her tail giving one faint thump before going still again. And then they heard it, a low, rumbling breath from the shadows. Branches cracked, leaves rustled. From behind a curtain of ferns, a massive shape emerged, a grizzly bear. His fur was thick and silver-tipped, his shoulders broad as a boulder. He stood nearly 9 feet tall when he reared up, sniffing the air, his dark eyes locked onto the pups. Instinct screamed at them to run. Every fiber of their being told them this was death. This was the monster from the dark woods. The beast mothers warned their young about in hushed tones. But the black pup didn't run. Instead, he took one shaky step forward, then another. He rose onto his trembling hind legs, front paws pressed together like a child in prayer. His tiny body shook, but his eyes never left the bear. The little golden pup, seeing her brother, copied him, wobbling, unsteady, but determined. She lifted her paws too, her whimper rising into a soft, pleading cry. The forest held its breath. The bear lowered himself slowly, planting his massive paws on the ground. He tilted his head, nostrils flaring. He could smell fear, sharp and sour, but he could also smell milk, and love, and desperation. Then, from the wreckage, came a weak whimper. The mother dog lifted her head just enough to see her babies standing before the bear. Her eyes widened, not in terror, but in silent surrender, as if she knew somehow that this moment was beyond nature, beyond predator and prey. The bear took a step forward, then another. The pups didn't flinch. He sniffed them gently, his hot breath ruffling their fur. Then, without warning, he turned and lumbered toward the fallen tree. With a deep grunt, he placed one enormous paw against the log, pinning the mother dog. Muscles rippled beneath his fur. The earth trembled, and with one powerful heave, he lifted the log and tossed it aside like kindling. The mother dog let out a soft moan, dragging herself free, her legs trembling. The puppies scrambled to her, licking her face, wagging their tails in frantic joy. The bear watched. For a long moment, he simply stood there, this mountain of fur and claw and wildness, gazing down at the tiny family now huddled together in the dirt. Then, the black pup did something no one could have predicted. He waddled forward again, stood on his hind legs, and pressed his paws together, not in fear, not in plea, but in thanks. The golden pup curled her tiny paw into a bow, her nose nearly touching the ground. A silence fell over the forest. Even the wind stilled. The bear exhaled slowly, a sound almost like a sigh. He dipped his great head once, just once, like a king acknowledging his subjects. Then, without a sound, he turned and disappeared into the trees, vanishing into the mist as quietly as he had come. Hours later, a hiker stumbled upon the scene. A wounded dog and her 2 puppies curled together beneath the fallen spruce, weak but alive. Nearby, deep tracks in the mud told a story no one would believe. Except for the old wildlife photographer who reviewed the trail cam footage days later. There it was, the bear, the puppies, the prayer, the rescue. The video went viral. Scientists debated. Biologists marveled. Some called it a miracle. Others said it was instinct. But those who watched the footage, the way the bear paused, the way the pups reached up, the way he bowed back, knew it was something deeper, something sacred. Months passed. The mother dog recovered. The family was taken in by a kind woman who lived near the edge of the forest. Every evening, the 2 puppies played in the yard, chasing butterflies and rolling in the grass. But sometimes, just before dusk, the black pup would stop. He'd stand on his hind legs, paws pressed together, staring into the trees, as if remembering, as if thanking. And deep in the forest, on quiet nights when the moon hung full and silver, a massive grizzly could be seen standing at the tree line, watching, guarding, never coming closer, but never leaving either. Because sometimes the wildest hearts carry the gentlest souls, and sometimes the most terrifying creatures are the ones who save us. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, share your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from you. Stay with us for more emotional, heartwarming stories that remind us kindness can come from the most unexpected places.